Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Obvious here. Just joining you live. Got some time this morning to just chat about what's going on in everybody's mind, see how everyone's doing. So, hope everybody joins in and see what's going on. So, post something in the chat topics. Anything you guys want to talk about? See how everything's going. Again, we the people, we're here to talk. It's only my second live broadcast, so I'm still trying to figure this one out, see how it goes. So. Really enjoy having everyone taunting. What's the word taunting? Really been enjoying everybody's comments lately in the videos. It's been fun. So just thought I'd start a live stream today just to see how everyone is doing and see how everything's going on. Looks like we got a few people joining in. What's up, Chi? How's it going over there on the other side of the planet? So yeah, post anything in the chat, whatever you guys want to talk about, and see how it's all going. So how's it going, Cameron? How about out and about, out and about? Are you from Canada? Hey there, any new gun laws in your area? Actually, there's a lot of people working on trying to repeal some of the gun laws out in this area in California and in the United States as well. Not necessarily repeal the gun laws, but at least try to stifle what the ATF has been doing lately. So that's always good. Out and about, yes. Canada says hi. We love our neighbors to the north. All right. Some people who film the government use words to taunt them. They believe taunting has no limits. Taunting definitely has limits. I would say anything you try to use words or fighting words, you're definitely going to get in trouble for that. But you should always be respectful in the words that you use, and there's always a time, place, and manner for everything. So. Yeah, I mean, I would say that taunting does have its limits. Hey, Levi, I'm doing great. How are you doing? It's a wonderful Monday morning out here in the communist state of California. Great weather today. It's the first time we've probably seen the sun probably since, I don't know, I want to say October. So this is kind of cool. So, hey, accountability, what's up? First time we've seen you. How's it going, bro? Nice to have you join me on the live chat. Again, hey man, probably the first time you've seen me. I've seen you a lot. Love your work out there, man. Hey, Dirt Farmer, hey, you've been there since the beginning, man. Just want to give you a shout out and just say, man, we the people love you. What's up, Washington Assault Rifle Ban? Well, there's no such thing as an assault rifle, so how could you ban something that doesn't exist? I'm doing fine. Thanks, you. I love your channel. Thank you. Thanks, accountability. Happy to be here with you too. Hey, accountability. If you're ever doing a live chat and you want me to join you, I'd love to join. I love your work. My parents are from that side of the country, and I'd love to get back there someday. COVID kind of messed up my plans to go over and visit that area with my daughter during one of her end of school trips. So, man, I'd love to get over there sometime. That my wife and I are buying a travel trailer, and hopefully we'll be able to travel sometime coming through. Happy to have you on the stream. Shoot me an email. It's on my About page. I will do that. I'm setting some time to get a hold of you all. It's been great. Will do. Again, Dirt, been here from the beginning. Thanks. Your shout out's the one that's made me get going. So thank you. I got a W-2 with an amount of I have no idea about taxes. I am not a tax person, so I'm not going to answer any questions about your W-2 or your taxes. I'm sorry. Paying taxes is stupid to begin with, so that's not what this is about. We are a First Amendment and more or less constitutional channel. Here to talk about your constitutional First Amendment rights, how everybody's doing on that. How do you feel about police audits? Policing the police. Well, that's kind of what we're all about here is policing the police, and not necessarily even policing the police. Because again, I will say it from the beginning: I am pro-police. I am just bad. I'm just about bad policing, and I love my police officers that I know and work with and deal with on a daily basis, or wherever in our community. It's not necessarily about that. It's about the control culture and probably how they've been trained and how they deal with things and deal with the public. most of them are great guys. You just get, as you can see by some of the videos that are out there, some people just have some issues and just don't know how to treat the public. And I think that's what we're trying to change is just, treat everybody as they should be treated. They're not, nobody is above the law, right? And I think that's what we're trying to get the message apart. Sorry, appreciate you anyways. I hear they're auditing three things. Again, guys, I have no clue. I mean, I know about taxes. I file my taxes every year, just like we're all supposed to, but I can't answer your tax questions. I don't know why you would think I would, but hey, good for you. Pay your taxes. Helps pay for the roads, I suppose. How does the chat feel about the debate over right to travel as opposed to privilege to drive? I'm going to go with there's no constitutional right guaranteed for you to drive. That is a privilege that the state in which you live in grants you the ability to do so. Now, should they be able to do that? That's completely debatable. Um, but there definitely needs to be laws and rules about driving. I don't think anybody could argue that. Otherwise, people would just go crazy and do whatever the hell they feel like. Clearly there are speeding laws and seatbelt laws for your safety, and I don't think any of us could deny that. Um, but I mean, the severity of punishments obviously is harsher from one state to another, not another. So, should it be federalized if that's what your question is? But yeah, you have the right to travel. There's nothing in any law that says you can't travel from where you want to go. There are laws that say you can't drive without a license, and we can talk about the constitutional debate about whether that's a privilege or a right, but right now in most places, and I have not seen it otherwise, it is a privilege and not a right. And again, that one's up for debate. So we want to talk about that. Let's talk about that. See what your feelings are. Sadly, another mass shooting. I did see that. And I saw it was a bank. Does anybody know if it was a bank robbery gone bad or if it just was some crazy dude? Or was he trans as well? I don't know. I honestly don't follow the news too much because I think the news is biased completely against us on both sides. And you're also going to get what you want to hear on the left or the right. Back in the day, I think news used to be moderated or in the middle somewhere. And in the United States, it is definitely not in the middle. It's definitely one way or another. And I don't know enough about what has happened to weigh my opinion on it. But I hope everyone came away with it as best as possible. I appreciate what your channel is about. Thanks for your hard work. Hey, you know what? More content, more of my own content will be coming. Just had some things I had to take care of. Those things are taken care of now. But what I've really been enjoying doing is taking some people's videos that may be less interesting as a whole video and trying to make shorts out of them, and then to bring highlight to their channels. So of the channels that I have talked to who have enjoyed me funneling some viewers to them, they've enjoyed what I do. There is one particular channel out there, and I'm not going to name her name out right now, but I've tried to reach out to her, and she will not reach back out to me. And I don't like the approach that she took on things because I've tried to be nice to everyone that's been out there, and I'm really just trying to promote everybody else's channel and views and everything, and trying to promote us as a community. And she didn't like that. So what can I say? I'm not going to support her anymore. So good cops tell on bad cops. Show me a good cop. I have definitely highlighted good cops. I try to highlight them as many times as I can. Again, I am pro police. I'm just bad police officers and bad police training. Personally, in my area, I have not met any bad cops. SLO County definitely has. SLO County Observer definitely has, and that's his struggle. I feel for him. But in my area of work, all the cops that I know and or work with are great guys. I can't say anything bad about them. Great guys. Our administration, on the other hand, that's up for debate as well. But I will say one thing. It only takes one bad apple to ruin the bunch, right? So you could have a department of 50 guys, and one guy's a complete tool, and every one of them is going to look like a tool because of that guy. So, and I think that's on those guys to weed out those bad apples. So, super serious. Don't want to be here. Okay. See you. We just overlook the corruption of cops. I think we may have overlooked the corruption at one time. I don't think we necessarily do anymore. I think with the advent of, especially the advent of the internet and the advent of everyone having cell phones and cameras and live streaming and video equipment being more portable and easy to use and accessible, I think more people are definitely holding them accountable. I think the problem you have is most people are just complacent and don't want to stand up for themselves or for their rights unless something happens to them. And I'm going to say that was 100% me. I was definitely complacent, mainly because I'm not the type of person, or wasn't the type of person who just, made trouble. But unfortunately, trouble is made to me. So, I've kind of made it my purpose to shed light on the subject. So it's not just one bad apple; it's organized crime. you know, uh, as I look at some of the departments, especially like in New York and like Georgia and someplace in the South, it really looks that way. Like it just looks like old school organized crime. But I don't live in those areas, so I can't necessarily uh, say one way or another. But yeah, it sure looks that way. But out here in my area, it definitely seems like it's an individual basis. Again, I'm going to just go with one bad apple spoils the bunch, and unfortunately, you're going to get that probably everywhere. But let's hope that changes someday. So, how often do fellow officers deal with these bad apples? I would hope they don't deal with them all the time. I would hope they would be the same way in any profession. If you have one dick on your team, everyone on your team is going to look like a dick, and I think it's your duty, whether you work for a police department or you're a police officer or you're not, you should hold your coworkers accountable if they're being rude or if they're saying something stupid. So I think that's going to go with any profession. So I don't think that's limited to just police officers. You probably have that anywhere. Hey, Squidward, how's it going? You're correct. Thank you. Yeah. PA cops kill 75-year-old man while on his phone. Um, hey, Dirt. Did that happen recently, or I hadn't seen that? I mean, that sucks. Was the 75-year-old man on his phone, and the cops killed him? You know what the context of the backstory of that is? Because that's terrible. In that sense, I know people in other jobs let a fly cause they don't want to get involved. Most people don't want to get involved. Again, that goes back with being complacent. And I think that's just because that's just human nature, that people just want to go with the herd and just want to get by. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as, we're all going in the right direction. But, um, when one person's leading the flock astray, that's not good, right? Biblical talk about that. Ooh, getting so too many police are associated with lodges. Okay, like Masonic Lodge? Are you trying to go conspiracy theory on that walking? Not to say that it doesn't exist, but again, I have not seen that before. Um, I also want to say things out here, at least in my area, don't seem to be nearly as corrupt or bad as in some other areas. So I can only speak for my own experiences on that. All right. So poor dirt farmer. So the 75-year-old guy was on a bike and the police took him out. I will have to look into that. That sounds interesting. I wonder if it'll show up on police activity or not. But that sucks either way. It's not considered the insignia on their buildings. Okay. send me a link with their insignias. I personally have not seen that, but I don't disbelieve you. Um, there, I definitely believe in some conspiracy theories because they wouldn't be conspiracy theories if some of them weren't true, right? Yeah, dirt. Yeah, well, I'll have to look into that. That sounds interesting. How's the weather there, Rufus Sparks? The weather here has been phenomenal. Last 3 days, it's been 75 and sunny, which is very unusual. Like I said, we haven't had sun here since maybe October. It's been raining. It's been great. Can't complain. Our lakes were, I want to say, if you're not familiar, I'm on the central coast of California area. Our lakes were nearly empty. We almost had no water. We were down to like the lake that's near me was down to like 15%, and it feeds all of our water, at least not my area, but close by. It's 100%. It's overflowing. It's wonderful. It's great. So God bless on that. I was randomly notified of your stream. I'm glad because I like this conversation. Got my like and subscribe. Hey, thanks there, SJ. I really appreciate that. I have no idea how live stream notifications work. This is only my second live stream. I'm finding it kind of fun. It's entertaining, but love it. I love when you guys post comments. Love talking about those things. You know, I'd love to. I'd love to put together some, like, I don't know. I had a interview with the First Amendment Museum a while back. I need to post that so you guys can see it. It was a really great interview, and they're like, there really needs to be some First Amendment auditor training out there. I never really thought about that, like First Amendment auditor training. I mean, I think most of us got our training from just watching everybody else, but it'd be interesting to see, like, what are the top 10 things people want to know about? Like, how do you go fill out a FOIA request? How do you even ask for a FOIA request? What is an open public records request? How do you go about starting your channel? How do you go about talking to people? Now, that'd be interesting in conversation to get into. Maybe we'll have to bring that up next time. So, interesting topic. When government doesn't like being transparent, they will do all they can to stop you. 100%. The government does not want to be transparent. Otherwise, if they were transparent, we wouldn't be here, right? I can definitely attest to that. So yeah, I would say there are no wants, no warrants. That's 100% true, and that's what we're all here about, right? Accountability, transparency. Hold. It's stated right in the Constitution and in the laws that you need to be able to hold your government accountable for their actions. That's the whole point of this. So, if everybody held their government local to the federal government accountable, I think we'd all be better citizens and our government would be a better organization. So, are you in Southern California? Juan is asking. Technically, I'm in Southern California, but I'm in the Central Coast region of California. If anybody has ever heard of Pismo Beach, Bugs Bunny, anybody? Bugs Bunny's been to Pismo Beach. I'm from that area, not specifically from the city, but from that area. You would never guess the town that I live in. It's too small. Poor Dirt Farmer, Westtown, East Goshen, Regional TWP Police Officer Jason Lestermeyer in Pennsylvania. Thanks for that info there, Dirt. I will look into that. That's good information. Walking Shorts. Why is there no Old Glory in federal buildings? Maritime flag isn't Old Glory. Are you talking about? I mean, when I hear the term Old Glory, that to me is the American flag. When we salute Old Glory, that's the American flag. So I'm just going to assume that every federal building has an American flag in it, and if they don't, then that's a problem on its own. Does your tattoo say something about the people? It says, goes this way: we the people, and then if you can see highlighted in the back is 1776, and then Statue of Liberty. I was hoping to go on a ride along for some audits. Thanks, SJ. Yeah, I'm working on my Americana tattoos. One, I would love to set up a meet and greet and or a team audit. Unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of auditors in this area. and I've only been in contact with a couple. Slow County, shout out to him. Katie Kidman, she's not necessarily from this area. I think she's from Southern California, but she was up in this area. She's great. I believe Nasty and Nathaniel is still in this area. I would love for us to all get up, together and meet up sometime. Some of those guys have a little bit easier time getting out and about than I do. I've got a full-time gig plus full-time family, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for me to get out. But there a lot of my time restraints are going to get taken. I'll have more time here coming up soon, so that'll be good. So, Old Glory is 3 colors. The flag that is in the federal government is 4 colors. It has a golden fringe. Walking shorts. I've heard of that. I will have to look into that. Send me an email, send me a link. I'd love to take a look at that. Gold fringed American flag has a different meaning than the unfringed flag. Look into that, Michael Trethaway. Certainly will do. So I will definitely look into that. I'm trying to bring this more others' attention. Walking. If anybody knows what walking's talking about, the fringe flag versus unfringed, really I've heard of that. So let's look into that. What's up, my Pete's Blue Heeler service dog? Hey, I used to have a Blue Heeler. They're really nice. How about Trump? This guy's our A game. Okay. Guilty until proven innocent. Hello from the UK. Trump 2024 or not? Trump's an interesting guy. I will say this. If you don't vote, you shouldn't be able to publicly express your opinion. I mean, you can publicly express your opinion one way or another. I mean, I guess that's everyone's right. But considering that most people in the United States don't go out and vote, but yet everyone has an opinion, kind of bothers me. I think you have your right to your opinion, but I also think if you don't vote and use your vote for your opinion, then you're not doing the government or the people a service. So, and as far as Trump being great, you know what? Under Trump's presidency, our economy was never better than it was, or has been since. Granted, we had COVID, but the Biden administration has not done anything positive for our economy. Other situations, that politicians get into, I can say are secondary, but our economy is what fuels our lives. And when they start wrecking the economy and making interest rates what they are right now, that hurts everybody. Inflation only hurts everybody. And that's a direct correlation to who's in office right now. And really, that's about all I'm going to say about that. So all I can say is use your vote to who you think is going to run the economy the best, not on their feelings. So we can debate more about that too. Jesus 2024, Jesus every day, right? Jesus, yeah. I did not vote. Nate, Net Spankins, I don't vote all the time either, and that's why I don't necessarily always voice my opinion on certain topics. People will sit there and talk about it, and I'll listen to them, their talk. But there are certain topics I have not voted on, and I can only say that because sometimes your choice is the lesser of two evils, and I don't like that we're put in that position. I also think that our two-party system in this country is broken, and we need to fix it. And I have no idea how to fix it. I'm just one man, but we definitely need to fix it. And I think that's what our problem is. What we definitely need is a viable third-party independent candidate to run strong and be a moderate. I think that's the only way we're going to do anything better. I vote because it gets counted. It's the most important thing they let me have. I'm not a fan of two-party system, though. I would agree. I mean, you need to get out and vote. And like I said, it's hard for me sometimes because I'm voting for the lesser of two evils, and that sucks. So let's, if we had either a third-party system or, it was, I don't know. What's your thoughts on how it would be to be better. So, hey, love your channel, Kyle. Love your channel idea. Let's add fourth branch to our one called the People's Branch, and have this fourth branch allow people to vote out on pending legislation. Yeah, it's a good idea. I think one of the biggest problems with our country is that, especially for like presidential elections, it starts on one side of the country and goes the other. So, like people like myself out in California, our vote technically never even counts, even though we have a huge electoral college. I think, what do we have, 54 votes in the electoral college, and it doesn't matter, it's over by then. Why doesn't it start in, like, I don't know, I think it's in Kansas or Colorado towards the middle of the country and like spread out? Then it makes more sense. I don't know. So I like that idea, the People's Branch. Just as long as it's not the fifth column, right? Frickus Digsplainer. That's hilarious. I have to quote Ben Franklin to Moxie. It's two wolves and a lamb trying to decide what to have for dinner. If you have to, that's fantastic. I like that. If you vote, you're just encouraging them. I like that. That's funny. There really should be something, but something's trying to help the citizens be heard more clearly. Hey, SJ, you definitely got a good point there, man. I like that. But I like that. Two wolves and a lamb trying to decide to have what's for dinner. That's fantastic, man. That's beautiful. Hey, I got something I'm gonna show for you guys. I just got a couple of new flags. I'm moving soon, so my background's gonna change. I won't be here anymore. I'll show you what I got. I got this new flag. So, what do you guys think? I'll be putting that up in my new background, or at my house. I'm not 100% sure when I have that. So, what do you guys think about the "Don't Tread on Me" flag or statement? I think I'm also going to get that tattooed here. I think that'll probably be one of my next ones as well. So, I also got camera goes the wrong way. Here we go this way. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? We don't have snakes in the UK, like in general, or like as far as people and politicians go, because I'm sure that there are snakes in the United Kingdom. Politicians could care less about what the people want. That's for sure. They vote according to who pays them out the most. 100%. All the people know this. I hope they do. Yet they still vote the same. Nothing changes. Things just get worse. Yeah, I haven't seen things get better. I want to say in our previous administration, I think a lot of things got better, but unfortunately, when people speak their minds too much and use certain platforms, that's probably not the best way to do things. So, I like both your new flags. Great choices. Thanks, Net. Is it like Nennet or Spankin? How do you pronounce that? But thank you very much. Still need state dessert flag. I still need to get that. That little snake, Prince William. Okay. I haven't seen it, or I haven't seen it. Not typically in a while. I've seen so many memes of the snake licking a boot because the wrong people embraced it. They totally missed the point. Yeah, 100%. I would agree with you, SJ Cruz. They definitely missed the point on that one. Net spankins. Is that a play on words or something? Because I I get some of the underlying context in it, but I love it. That's great. I am correct in thinking that more people need to wake up, and that's what's actually happening. I want to, Man F, that's who just commented on that. I want to think that more people are waking up. I want to believe that that's what's going on. Um, um, I think more people want to stand up, and like most humans are kind of sheepish and want to be led. And I'm not trying to say that in the wrong context. But I would say, like most of us, unless we get behind something or something happens negatively to us, we're just kind of good with the status quo. Um, and the status quo doesn't enact change. And I think unless something happens to you, you're not going to get out there and do anything about it. And that's kind of what happened with me. I always had my core beliefs, my core values, and what I stood for and what I believed, but I actually never got out there like I am now and pushing the envelope and making my point known, standing up for our rights, going and talking to our politicians. There's a lot of things that I haven't filmed or even put out there that I do. Like I said, one of them I had a conversation with the First Amendment Rights Museum. We had an hour-long conversation and webinar with them. That's great. I never would have done that before. I've been to most of our city halls in this area and had to talk to city managers, um, some heads of police departments, some heads of local governments. Again, some things I just haven't filmed and put out there just because I haven't had the opportunity. Um, and except for some of our local heads of government who just think they're the bee's knees, who think they're like the president of their community. Most of them are in it for themselves. They're not in it for the community. They're there for, I want to be the mayor of this town so then I can be elected to the county government seat, so I can get into the state government seat, so I can get elected to Congress or something like that to make money. That's honestly, that's just my opinion from what I've talked. That's my opinion formulated on talking to them in person. So, and that's sad. Okay, agreed. Correct answer. Subscribed and from over the pond. Thanks, man. Man F, really enjoy that. Juanita wonders. Okay. Well, you all have your right to your own opinion. Man F, what's happening from your perspective? That's Sylvia. Sylvia Recker wants to know, if Man F, what's happening from your perspective? Now, I'm not from over the pond, so I haven't been over there. In a bittersweet way, I think cell phones have made people get away from network news and thus being more free of thinkers. Not to say the phones haven't caused other problems as well. 100% there, SJ. Network news is terrible. And once the vast majority of people stop watching network news, which is completely corrupt on both sides, 100%, things are not going to get better. Unless you're starting to listen to actual independent generalists, or people who aren't paid by network advertisers. I can just think, like, I'll just go with one off the top of my head. Daily Wire, great source of news and information from them. Not to say that I go to them, but they're at least not paid by cable networks or mass media. So, but yeah, cell phones have definitely made people, I would say, more free thinkers. And when you say cell phones have caused other problems, 100%. It's made everybody an armchair quarterback and had everybody be able to just formulate their own opinion and do things. But again, I think it's created a lot more sheep than leaders. But that's how it is. Plus, people just like to view the worst they can in other people. Brenda, more people are waking up, but like so many others, are just too afraid to speak up or take action, fear of judgment or action taken against them by enemies or friends. 100%. You nailed it right on the head there, Brenda. Most people are too afraid to speak up. And I can say that I probably was one of them. I mean, I've always kind of been vocal. The people who know me, I've always been kind of vocal. Um, and uh, that's because in my life, I've had to be the leader, either amongst my friends or family, or just things that have happened in my life. So, um, I've never really had too much fear of judgment, because I could honestly care less about what most people think about me, because most people you're never going to be friends with. I care about what my friends and family think, and they know exactly where I stand on things. And I mean, they can judge me, but you know, I still love them. They still love me. And as far as judgment against your enemies, you know, I'm sorry, they're your enemies for a reason. I'm not here to make I would love to make my enemies friends and to let them have but most people that I know who are my enemies are downright dirty people and deserve to be treated as such. All right, good job, Robin Hood. I am definitely not a Robin Hood. We're glad to see that you're coming to this marvelous light. All right, so um, not gonna indulge on that particular troll. Well, yeah, taxation without representation. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where we were founded on, right? That's kind of how this whole thing started. Tea Party and all. Cloud L. Hmm. All right. Hey, Brenda. So, what did you think about that? What do you feel about that? A helping hound. Who doesn't like hounds? He's right. We need to go to the city and state meetings 100%. I don't know if you guys follow Direct D down in Arizona, but you all should be going to your city and local meetings. That's the only way that they're going to know anything's a problem, or that you as a citizen can do anything about it. So go. If you have time, go. This year, I've been trying to do better about adding culture and trying to find neighbors, different ethnic groups, and shared beliefs. You know, the community in which I live in is run by a tyrannical HOA, and they're awful, awful, awful people. That's one of the reasons I'm moving. But yeah, I, I I want to say I tried to find a common ground with most people. I love finding common ground with most people. Um, Not where I live right now. You clearly hate the truth. Okay, that's untrue, and you're a troll. I'm a home health aide for quadriplegic, and they watch TV all day, and I'm around it. But I do not. But I do like to have a glimpse on the other sides, so I'm aware. The propaganda seems to be so obvious. It's 100% propaganda. I mean, it's paid propaganda, right? Who pays the people who are putting out the news? It's the advertisers, and they're going to advertise on channels who support their agenda. So the more you stop watching them and stop feeding into it, and get your news or information from elsewhere. I mean, that's the greatest thing about platforms like YouTube or anything else. You can get everybody's opinion on it, whether you want to believe it or you really think it's the truth. I'm not trying to say that I'm preaching the gospel. I'm preaching my own truth. I formulate my own opinions and my own ideas, and I'm just here to share them with you guys, and share your ideas as well. So, if people believe in zigs as they say, why would they care about what man thinks? Especially if they believe they are correct. That's how things change. With honesty, no one seems to want that. Yeah, I agree. You're lacking a purity of heart. Again, you all have your own opinion. Rat King, hello, happy Easter, everyone. Yes, happy Easter to you all. I kind of took the weekend off to took the weekend off to spend some time with family and friends. Um, viewership went down, but that's okay. it's not all about that. It's all about trying to inspire everyone. If I can inspire one more person to get out there and do something that I'm doing to help change the system, then I've done what I need to do as a human. So, and that's really my cause here. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to um, politicize anything. I'm just here to speak my opinion and encourage you all to get out there and make a change within your own lives, in your own community, and make things better for the next guy. That's my point, and to raise awareness. Yeah. All right. Hey, Ruben, what's this chat about? Quick recap, please. Hey, Ruben, just to fill you in, this is my second live stream that I've done, and just kind of an open-ended chat. My channel's about civil rights, especially First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, 14th, but specifically First and Second Amendment rights, kind of my forte of my studies. So that's kind of what we've just been talking about, kind of gather everybody's opinions and then just kind of speak my mind about that. So chat is to ask questions and voice opinions. That's exactly what we're here doing. So people I'm sorry, Ruben's asking, people due diligence is lack of involvement in government policies, in my opinion. 100%, Ruben. If you're not getting out there and getting involved in your local governments and doing what you can to at least expose them or bring awareness to what they're doing, they're just going to do what they're going to do, right? So, again, everyone's got their amount of time that they can contribute to that. I can't say that I've got all the time in the world to go do that, but I do make as many trips to city halls and to local government buildings to go, not necessarily film them all the time, because sometimes that just gets the wrong message. But at least I go and I talk to them. I've talked to city planners. I've talked to mayors. I've gone and just gotten their opinions when they're not being forced on camera to say something, because they're a little bit more candid that way. So I will put out in what I can when I can. I will put out more as time goes on. But I'm here to right now just to speak to you guys and see what your opinions on everything is. So Justin Rose, not enough people care about what happens till it affects them directly. 100% there, Justin. I would say most people care, but most people aren't going to do anything about it. And I would say it was kind of the same way. I was always vocal about my opinion, but in the last 5 years or so, some people have done some just dastardly deeds to me and affected my life and have stomped on my First Amendment beliefs and rights. And I'm trying to stand up for that. So I agree with you. Helping Hound says it's shocking how much money city officials move around while other areas suffer. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, look at certain roads where certain people live that get fixed over other areas, right? I mean, just the mayor lives on this street and the street gets fixed, and this guy's street doesn't. So SJ says, "Rock on, Ruben." Yes, Ruben did a great job. Thanks for your topic there, Ruben. Exactly, 100%. They don't make it easy to attend. That's the you know they advertise when they're going to have their meetings. So I mean, you can show up. Whether they'll let you voice your opinion when you get there is sometimes limited. I mean, they'll limit you to the amount of time, and they'll definitely limit you if you try to say something they don't like. They will try to usher you out of there, or say you're not allowed to say certain things, or they'll have the police officer in the back try to escort you out, especially if you try to hold them accountable. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. But the more people do it, the more they'll have to listen, right? So, all right. No wants, no warrants. If you want your city or state government to take you seriously, back up your statement with laws and don't use the derogatory language. Yeah, I agree with you. Justin Rose. Everyone I've talked to say they're just busy making money to take time and stand up for their rights. But as I have said, what will money buy you after you have no rights? 100%. And rights are like muscles. If you don't exercise them, you're going to lose them. So I think that's something needs to get done about that. So But yeah, you can make all the money in the world, but once they take your rights away from you, then you're not going to have anything after that. So use your money, your time wisely, and what you can do to benefit yourself and the ones around you. So no one's Rat King says no once, no warrants agreed. Yes, very good. In high school, oh sorry, SJ Curtis says in high school they had us go to a school board meeting to learn about government, but all we learned is that no one will listen to us. And I'm very true. Um, they some of those meetings are just talking heads, and they just want to agree with each other and vote on what they want to vote on, or second to this and second that and motion this. They don't necessarily want to listen to you. They have to, right? If it's an open meeting, they have to listen to you. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Now, that's because most people don't go and voice their opinions. If you went to a city council meeting and you brought around 10, 15 friends and you all had the same opinion and you kept going to the same city council meetings, someone's going to listen to you. Some news story is going to pick that up, or something's going to happen. So um, I have not met enough people in my own area to do much of that. But if somebody invited me, I would be there in a heartbeat. More meetings are going to Zoom so they control your comments. 100%. That is something else I've also seen happen as well. And they can just boot you out of the Zoom meeting so that you can't go to their city council meetings. I have seen that. I have heard of that. And that needs to stop. Kyle says, in New York, I saw a police chief making $750,000 a year, the president of the UN. Okay, I think what you're trying to say is the police chief was making $250,000 a year, and the president of the United States. Well, so far, from what I can remember, unless something's changed, the president of the United States was making around $400,000 a year, and it's probably gone up since the last time I've seen it. And but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, that's probably a hell of a lot less than what CEOs of certain companies are making. So when he's running the country, yeah, formulate your own opinion on that. I mean, there's some people in the medical field who make that and who are well trained, so and do less. But a police chief in New York making $750,000 a year. I mean, you'd have to look at the demographics and the place in which that's happening. If each officer is making, say, $150,000 a year, is that in proportion to what the chief should make? I mean, not to say it's right, but I mean, you look in some cities, and if say the police officer's making 20 grand, but the chief's making 100. I mean, to me, that's proportional. So I can't divulge. I don't have enough information on that, but I mean, that is a lot of money for a police chief to make. So I would agree with that. So. All right, no wants, no warrants. San Diego City Council members believe affordable housing is $2,300 a month. The suggestion they gave us was to call it workable housing. In San Diego, if you're saying $2,300 a month is a lot, from what, and I don't know where you live, no wants, but that sounds pretty cheap. And I'm not trying to say that's cheap in general, but where I live, $2,300 a month might get you like a 1-bedroom apartment. So, and that still doesn't seem very affordable to me. I mean, so I'd have to know where you live, but from what I remember from last time I was in the San Diego area, that's a pretty affluent area, and I would imagine most people's mortgages are more than that. Whether that's a workable living and that's debatable on what you do and where you're at. Now, whether that's right is depending on how much money you make. So. No government official should get paid or be allowed to take donations. Well, I definitely don't think they should be able to take no donations. Whether they get paid or not, I think it really depends on the position. I mean, back in the day, I mean, you as a government official, you went and did your day job and then did your government as your civic duty. That would be nicer to see than a paid politician. A paid politician to me is wrong, because if you're being paid for it, you're not going to make the best interests of the people. So. Brian, nobody cares about your opinions either. So if they did, we talk about them. I'm just joking. I care about everybody's opinion. So Brian, I'm sorry you feel that way. Um, no officer out there should be making $750,000 a year. Yeah, that seems excessive. John Smith says $750,000 for an officer. Yeah, that seems high. I would agree with you. Either way, that seems really high. I would say the police chief in our area probably makes $250,000 a year. And we live in a pretty affluent area, and that seems pretty high for what they actually do. It's not like they're actually, I mean, they're sitting behind a desk. They're not, I don't know. Don't get me started on that one. Let's see, Ruben. Honestly, feel a lot of public positions should be limited to minimum wages. Again, I think that goes back to back in the day. You did your day job, and then you did your civic duty as a city official. I think things would work better if that's how it actually worked. Still. Oh, no one. So you live in San Diego there, no one's. So you'd have to tell me. I don't know. I haven't been down to that area, but as far as I remember, San Diego is pretty affluent. Um, so I would imagine, like, if you said that Clarence Thomas takes millions, Clarence Thomas takes millions in gifts, I could only imagine that any government official takes millions of dollars in gifts. There's no reason they would do what they're doing if they weren't getting paid an ass ton of money to do what they're doing, and it's not right. Especially somebody on the Supreme Court, they should be 100% unbiased. And from following SCOTUS, SCOTUS does seem to probably be the best branch of the government as far as being the least biased out of anybody. Just in my opinion, I think they do a great job. With that being said, they're heavily influenced by the right or the left. That's not good either. So our city manager makes more than the mayor and the roads are terrible. I would imagine that most city managers probably do make more than most mayors. A city manager definitely is somebody who went to college, got at least a couple of degrees in city managing, and they're probably doing a hell of a lot more work than the actual mayor does, which is an elected position in most cases. So that would make sense that the city manager gets paid more than the mayor. It's an actual job versus an elected official. So, okay, no wants, no ones. So, $2,300 for a studio apartment. So, just to give you some perspectives there, no wants. If you want me to call you by a different name, let me know. In our area up here, we're about 6 hours north of you. $2,300 probably gets you a 1-bedroom apartment. So, it's probably about the same. And that, if you want to contrast that, since everybody's probably from different parts of our country, most mortgages probably in our area $3,000 to $6,000 a month for owning a small house. Opinionated. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir. Port Dirt Farmer. I'm glad I live on the Suwannee River. More gators around here than cops. I don't know where that is. I know you're back east somewhere, so I think you're in like Georgia or something, right? Or Florida, right there, Dirt. I'd love to go to that area. There's more gators than cops. I wish there was more gators than cops around here too. Justin Rose, $1,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment here in Ohio. So it's 2023. Between 2020 and 2000 and 2003, I was renting a 2-bedroom apartment for about that a month, for $1,200 a month. I bet that same apartment here now goes for probably $2,500 to $3,000 a month. I don't know how anybody affords that. Most people in my area, unless they had dual income and worked really good jobs, I don't know how they would afford that. So, Port Dirt Farmer says $25,000 gets you 5 acres and a mobile home out here in North Florida. Yeah, I bet it does. I personally bought property up in Idaho, which is my favorite red state in my area, and I think I bought 7 acres for a little over $100,000. So uh, that seemed pretty affordable to me. Um, I've since sold that because I'm selling a whole bunch of properties um, to go move and then to go live a little bit more simply here. But yeah, things on the east definitely seem a little bit more easy, obtainable than they are out here. I live in the world of unattainium out here in California, where things are ridiculously expensive. That's just how it is. It's stupid out here. SJ says you can get a 4-bedroom house in downtown Rochester, but you'll probably get shot twice. Helping Hound says we're also getting constitutional carry. I would, if we all had constitutional carry, we'd be better off. An armed society is a polite society. Where are you getting your constitutional carry? What state are you in there, Helping Hound? I'd love to know. Opinionated says the cost of living is unobtainable. You're either upper class or the lower class. I think, again, that really depends on where you live. I would say in my area, I would call it the upper middle class to the upper class. And I have no idea how the lower, and I hate to use classes because that's just a terrible way to put things, but I don't know how people in lower income brackets make it in certain areas. I don't. I'm just lucky, I guess. Helping out in Florida, yes. I've heard that Florida is getting constitutional carry. If anybody follows the armed fishermen, as you should, I hope he's helping in that, and it'd be interesting to know what you guys take on DeSantis is as well. We got constitutional carry out here in Ohio. If you want to talk about Second Amendment stuff, I kind of view it in a couple of ways as far as like carrying goes. Carrying a gun, walking around in public invites, I want to say, unwanted danger to you at some point. Now, granted, I don't think that most people who openly carry have gone through any type of training. So I do think that some people should have training before they go out there with that. I also think that if you're advertising that you have a gun on you, and not everybody is as like-minded as you are, that invites people who might want to take it from you. And if you don't know how to use it properly or know how to defend yourself, I think that could cause other problems. But I will just say an armed society is a polite society. It's Wild West here in Arizona. Yeah, everyone should have training. Hey, Mike, I can only see what like Direct D is showing down there in Arizona. Those cops are crazy down there. So our tax here, Ruben says our tax here is $6,000 a year. Yeah, my property tax is $10,000 a year where I live, and it's only going up. Yeah, 10 grand a year for property tax. Just put that in perspective. I think it's going to go up to 13,000 soon. Anyways, guys, I got jet. I have to go deliver some papers and get some things notarized because I got some personal work that I got to take care of. So any final thoughts before we wrap things up here on today's live stream? I just want to say I appreciate everybody who has stopped by. I want to try to get on here at least once a week, if not every other week. Maybe I can start scheduling things. Let me know what you guys think. Again, my email is posted in my about. I will try to get to them. Again, I can't get to every comment. I can't get to everything, but if I miss something, please let me know. I'll try to get to you guys. Dirt, you've been there from the beginning. Thank you so much for your inspiration. I don't know if accountability is still here, but shout out to him. No warrants. You know what? Love to hook up with you sometime. I've loved your opinion on here. Thanks for joining the stream, everyone. SJ, nice to meet you. Nice to meet everyone else that's been on here. It's been a pleasure. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Keep doing what you're doing, keep fighting the good fight, and just remember we, the people, need to take things back. Mr. Obvious here. Love you guys. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Check out the videos, check out the shorts, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.